It's pretty amazing that it's been around so long and stronger than ever. It's meeting the needs of more people than ever. I think it's terrific that it's such a successful organization. In 1959, Church Women United started a migrant ministry program to help the migrant workers, the farm workers that came to the community each summer to work. And they found out that most of them couldn't read, so they decided that they should have a literacy component in their outreach to these people. In 1963, Kay Mackley went to the Koinonia Foundation near Baltimore and took training in Laubach literacy. And she came back home and started putting together a literacy program. The first tutors were trained that fall, and the Literacy Council was formed, but they didn't actually start tutoring any migrants until 1964. Starting in 64 and really until the 70s, all the students were native English speakers. In the 1970s, we had a large influx of Southeast Asian immigrants. We realized we needed to help them, and so ESL program, English as a Second Language program, was begun in 1977, and that was coordinated by Marie Misi, who is in the picture. In 1982, we moved out of the Schaefer Center that had housed us since the mid-60s and moved into the second floor of the Seabrook Arts Library. That year also, Norman Paul was trained as a tutor, and he was interested in working with prison inmates. So he started teaching at the Frederick Detention Center, but then a lot of his students were transferred to the Maryland Correctional Institution in Hagerstown, and so he sort of followed them there, and we started tutoring there. In the early 1980s, our longtime treasurer, Dolly Engel, passed away about a month after her husband passed away. And we had quite a number of memorial donations made. And it was decided to honor them by setting up a fund. So it was decided to do an outreach program to the Western Maryland counties and the counties that surrounded them in other states to see if they would like help in setting up a literacy program. So that's how the Engel Memorial Fund was created and what was done with it. So in 1990, the council got a request to see if we would train inmates to tutor other inmates. The idea was for these literate inmates to work with the ones who couldn't read at all. About the same time, Sister Mary Jerome McGinley took tutor training from us and decided that she wanted to start a literacy center at the Provincial House in Emmitsburg. In 2000, the Seabrook Arts Library began a renovation, and so Literacy Council had to move out. We moved back into the library in 2002 with an increased space. Also in about 2002, Betty Selig, a longtime volunteer, passed away. To honor her memory, the board decided to establish the Betty Seligman Literacy Endowment Fund at the Community Foundation. By 2011, we were no longer able to sustain keeping the office open on a regular enough basis with just volunteers. So that's when we hired a 30-hour per week office manager, which really began transformation of the council. In 2014, we hired Lori Fisher, who was our first executive director. And since then, we have added additional staff. And so now we have Lori and we have 6 part-time staff and looking for a 7th Back in 2011, we were only serving about, I think, 90 or so students. And in the last fiscal year, we served 357. 2015, we began the workplace literacy program with classes for kitchen workers, the back of the house workers in some local restaurants. In 2016, we had our first Scrabble Mania for literacy fundraiser. Many literacy councils had Scrabble events, and we decided to do that, and we have continued that. It's continued to grow over the years. In 2017, community classes really expanded. That community class program has continued and in other areas in the county. We also launched our new website in 2017 and is really kind of a workhorse for us. In 2018, we launched the Parent Literacy Program. We partnered with the Judy Centers and 3 Title I elementary schools to conduct outreach to parents of young children to try to help get these children off to a better start by helping their parents. In 2018, also, we had our 5th annual celebration of achievements. Also in 2018, the first edition of Reflections was published, and this is a publication of pieces written by our students. So that's exciting. Every year there's a gathering to present the new publication, and some of the students read their submissions aloud to the audience. In 2019, we expanded the workplace literacy program considerably. We expanded into hospitality employees at hotels, and we've since added some manufacturing businesses to that program. 2019, we applied to the Catalog for Philanthropy for the Washington area, and we were chosen as one of the best nonprofits. Part of the point of that is to help with awareness and fundraising. In 2020, the Parent Literacy Program expanded to a 4th school, and then later a 5th school, and now this year into a 6th school. And more parents are signing up for the classes that are taught right at the children's school. Of course, in 2020, everything fell apart with COVID. We had to immediately stop in-person meetings. The office was closed, and our staff worked very quickly to transform everything into remote platforms. 2021, the Tourism Council awarded us the Visit Frederick Ambassador of the Year Award for our work with the hospitality industry. So that was kind of a big deal. We developed a new strategic plan in this past year that is about providing pathways to literacy skills and having it be part of a total community effort. We were again named a critical local nonprofit by Spur Local, which is the new name of the Catalog for Philanthropy. We were awarded our first ever federal grant to work on expanding our workplace literacy program to more hospitality businesses in the Frederick area.
Happy anniversary!